Hello, everyone. My name is Devin Halcomb. I'm the band director here at Provo High School. I'm going to do a quick talk through of our parent meeting from May 6th. But while I'm going through, I'm going to take my face off the screen so you can see all the slideshow presentation. There is a QR code over here on the left side. If you scan that QR code, and I'll put the link in the description of the video, that'll take you to the marching band signups. Students should sign up with their first and last name, their instrument, their cell phone and email, as well as parent cell phone and email. Note to students, if you do not have a cell phone, if your parents do not want you sharing your cell phone information, please don't. This information is for myself and the staff to reach out to parents and students regularly throughout the season, but more on that later. Let's jump into it. Marching band is a co-curricular activity. Students should be enrolled in a daytime course on their instrument, and then we prepare the marching band content after school during rehearsal. A change from previous seasons, students no longer need to be enrolled in a specific course. Woodwinds and brass players should enroll in symphonic band or wind symphony, and percussionists should enroll in symphonic band or advanced percussion. The specific placements for those ensembles has been provided to Ms. Giblin at Dixon Middle School, as well as the Provo High counselors. Marching band has curricular value. It is sanctioned through UHSAA, the Utah High School Athletics and Activities Association, and it's governed by Utah Music Educators Association, UMEA. This means that we tailor the activity to meet the education standards set forth by the state of Utah for music education. We provide literally hundreds of hours of training and development on the instruments, on choreography and movement and growth. And more importantly, we also focus on a lot of non-curricular values. These are things that employers are looking for nowadays. Lessons that don't show up on a standardized test, things about time management, body awareness, commitment to a group, setting goals and making them happen, developing character traits. These are all great things that students should learn through the marching band experience. In our meeting on Monday, we had parents, guardians, students, student leaders, as well as the instructional team. We also have a great design team. I'll introduce them in a minute, but they were not able to be at our meeting on Monday. Parents and guardians, we need you too. I'm just going to click my face back on just so you can see what I'm saying here. Parents are what makes so much of this experience work. There are so many things that myself and the staff, even the students, can't do on our own without your support. In this picture here, this is two of the band dads here that are helping us push equipment onto the field for our performance. There are parents who have prepared meals for us. There are folks that help us out with uniforms and building props, help us with fundraising. All of these are things that I, as a teacher, can only do so much of, but you as the parents have a lot of power to improve the quality of life for your student as well as their friends and peers. Students, I mentioned this on the first slide. When you scan this QR code, you need to make sure to include your email and phone number, as well as your parents' email and phone number, and make sure that you do so in accordance with what you and your parents have agreed on. The biggest thing for everyone is to make sure to check emails. I or the staff send one at least once a week. If there's a special event to remember, we may send a reminder email midweek. Communications. This is the second year that band has used Discord. This is following in the footsteps of Provo High School Esports, which has been using Discord for several years. In order for students to use Discord, the band needs to have a parent waiver on file. I had mentioned esports students. If a student is doing esports and turns in the waiver through the esports program, they do not need to turn in a second waiver for band. Next, when we get to our student leaders, our drum major for the 2024 season is Mackenzie Wages. She is returning. She was a drum major last year in 2023, and this will be her second year as drum major. She spent her first 2 years on marching band as a mellophone player, and she's included some wonderful pictures here. Trips from San Francisco, home football game, and as well as our competition at state finals in St. George. Other folks to announce are our captains and section leaders. our captains are over a larger sections of the band to help staff and the drum major uh, organize things, help people out, and keep track of things. Currently, we have Branson as the brass captain, and Carly as the front ensemble captain, and Emily as the battery captain. Um, Likewise, we have captains in several of the sections. So we got Eleanor on flute, and I am so sorry, Ellie. I didn't fix this typo before doing the video. We got Ellie watching over the saxophones, Jared with the trumpets, Lissa with the mellows, Branson kind of pulling double duty, watching over the baritones and the euphoniums, George with the tubas, Danny over the medals in front ensemble, and Patrick over the auxiliary and synth section in front ensemble. Getting to our design team, if you are a returning member or if you've had friends or previous students in the program, Peter Bates should be a familiar face by now. He's been working with Provo High for 8 years now. He's also a highly sought after writer and choreographer, literally all over the country. He spends most of his summer working with a drum corps based out of Boston and at times touring all over the country. He's the visual caption head for American Fork High School, and he still makes time to work with us. And we've had a great working relationship with him over the last several years. Next is our composer, Bradley Sampson. Bradley is responsible for writing all of the music that the instrumentalists perform. The wind music, the percussion music, the front ensemble music. He has a very prolific resume that you can check out here if you want to pause it and take a look. Going all the way back to working here at Provo High back in 2014. And then there's myself. I'm not on the design team or the instruction team. My job is really directing and overseeing the program as a whole. Here's some pictures from me dating back to late college, early college, and even I think that's it's either junior or senior year of high school. Yeah. But so yeah, a little bit about me if you haven't met me. I was born in Michigan, raised in Missouri. This picture here on the right is me doing drum corps in 2004. I attended Missouri State for 3 years, and then I transferred to Brigham Young University, where I finished my degree there. Before going to Provo High, I taught in Richmond, California for 4 years, and I'm going into my 5th year at Provo High. My job is to work with the design team, the instruction team, the student leadership, the parents, members of Provo High School, as well as the district, to make sure that everything functions smoothly the way that we need to. Getting to our instructional team, these are the folks on the ground making things happen with your students day in and day out. Justin Taylor is over the battery. He's included some wonderful performance pictures from his days as a performer. He teaches social studies and percussion at Orem Junior High. He's from Indiana. As a Michigan native, I don't hold it against him, but some friendly Midwest rivalry. This is his 4th season with us. He's been a great stabilizing presence for us, along with his roommate, Gabe Scott, with the gorgeous red locks. Gabe Scott is returning with his 4th season with us. He is a 2017 grad from West Jordan High School, and he's finishing up his studies at UVU. And he's on track to get married soon, so congratulations, Gabe. Up next is our visual woodwind instructor, Elsa Wolfenden. Elsa marched with Provo High School for 5 years on flute and piccolo. She's also a prolific dancer with the dance company during her time at Provo High, and she is near the end of her studies at UVU for film. Her husband teaches percussion at Timpview, and Elsa teaches visual and woodwinds at both Provo High School and at Timpview High School, as well as some awesome pictures of Elsa going way back when, all the way up to now. Up next, we have our color guard staff. We have Lacey Olson. She's pictured on the left of the screen, as well as Kayla Jukes. I don't have a picture for her yet. I'm so sorry, Kayla. They're new to Provo High in 2024. Lacey graduated from Provo High back in 2019, and she lives in Orem with her husband and their child. Lacey and Kayla are working to build the color guard program, and if the students are interested, they don't need prior experience, but they should reach out to Lacey at the email provided on screen. That's lacey@provo.edu. We're definitely looking for more students to join the color guard for fall 24. So this is the parent meeting, whether you attended in person or whether you're watching this video after the fact, we have May mini camp coming up on May 18th. That will run from 8 a.m. We'll take a brief sack lunch during the day. Students should pack their own lunch, and then we'll wrap up at 3 p.m. This is a day for for everyone to kind of get oriented. What is band like? What is it like to march? What is it like to play your instruments? A lot of people have different setups that they need to do for their instruments. Getting percussion equipment set up, wind players perhaps getting on a different instrument. For example, baritones don't use the traditional concert baritones; they have marching baritones and other things like that. Um, so that's May 18th. Next on the calendar after that is the Summer Band series. Summer Band runs from June 24th through July 4th. And there's some careful details over here about the Summer Band season. Guard and percussion only will be coming in on Monday and Tuesday that week. Wednesday is leadership and new marchers. Then on Thursday and Friday, we get the full band there. We have two pieces that we've played before that will return again this year. Percussion has some cadences that they're working on. And there's a third piece that we'll be introducing for Freedom Festival as well that everybody needs to learn. And then the Children's Parade is on Saturday, June 29th. We'll meet at Provo High, take a bus over to Memorial Park in Provo. We'll perform there briefly and then call it a day. Then the following week, we come back on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. with everybody there. Then on Thursday, July 4th, is the Freedom Festival. The big news with this one, students with perfect summer band attendance will receive a $100 discount to their fall marching band fee. This is really big for a lot of folks that are trying to make ends meet and cover the band fee. But we'll get more into finances in a couple slides. After summer band, we are off for several weeks. I hope folks go on vacation and rest and have some good recreation. Then band camp is a single week. It runs July 29th through August 3rd. That's Monday through Saturday. And we go from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. It's really tough, but I'm working with the staff to find ways to make sure that we get through it healthy and safely and get everything done that we need to get done. So students should eat breakfast at home and then bring a sack lunch. And then once we get to summer, I'll be reaching out to families to help donate meals throughout the camp so that students can stay together and eat dinner, build some camaraderie, and have some warm meals during the week. For band camp, students need a list of things here. They need athletic clothing, durable shoes, sunscreen. If you play a flute, clarinet, saxophone, trumpet, or trombone, you need to make sure your instrument is in good repair. Everyone needs to have a handheld dot book. These are roughly 3-inch by 5-inch notebooks that are used for taking notes during rehearsal. A pencil for taking notes. Sunglasses and hat are also recommended. Not listed on this slideshow is also a large jug of water. The little 20-ounce bottles, they're not going to be enough. Folks need to bring at least a half gallon of water, especially during camp. Then getting to our regular season schedule. Once we finish camp that 1 week, we take the next week off. Students take care of what they need to do. I have teacher meetings I have to be in. And then once school starts, we begin our regular season schedule. Where we'll rehearse on Tuesday and Wednesday, 2:45 until 5 p.m. That's basically right after school. Gives kids like 15 minutes to get to the band room, get changed, grab their gear. Then at 2:45, we're stretching, running, playing notes, doing whatever we need to do to make sure that we're starting rehearsal. And then Friday, we rehearse in the football stadium from 2 p.m. till 5 p.m. Attendance. When it comes to band camp, students need to be there all 6 days of camp. Exceptions are only on a case-by-case basis. During the regular season schedule, students who miss one rehearsal will need to pass off on Friday or Saturday before performing. If students miss 2 rehearsals, or if they miss an unexcused performance, such as a home game, they'll be designated as non-performers until the following week. Non-performers don't take the field, but they are still expected to get dressed in the uniform, help travel. Typically, they'll work with Gabe Scott in the front ensemble to make sure everything is pushed onto the field appropriately, and then they'll stand on the sideline while the band performs. Repeat non-performers place their membership at risk with the band. We need people who are going to be here and take care of what they need to do. But if something should come up, make sure to report to your caption head, the instructional team that I described earlier in the slideshow. Just some clarifications. Work is not an excused absence. Um, I am really proud of our high schoolers and all the things that they can do, but an employer should not be relying on a student in order for them to stay open. Likewise, students with jobs should be communicating responsibly with their employer about what their schedule needs are. Whether it be, okay, band, we rehearse until 5 o'clock. That means you really shouldn't plan to do anything until at least 5:30, most likely 6 o'clock. Same thing with the competition schedule. That schedule is already available in the Provo Band Google Calendar, where you can see what weekends we're competing, what Fridays we have home games, etc. If you are involved with another sport or activity, make plans before the season about how to schedule practices and rehearsals. If you communicate things in advance, I'm typically willing to make things work as long as students are doing things that are curricular. Um, Repeat medical absences, such as injury or illness, they should be accompanied by a doctor's note. This is based on return to play policy from UHSAA, and it's designed to keep students safe. Um, so far in the slides, I've talked a couple times about money. There is a $700 activity fee for marching band. This is what pays for uniforms and traveling and props and music and drill and so many things that make our season work. Um, I'm thankful that this is still a low rate compared to our competitors in the state of Utah and especially in Utah County. Um, in order to make this happen, we have fundraisers. There are individual fundraisers, there are group fundraisers, depending on what item we're working with. And notably, students that are on fee waivers have their fee waived, but they are required to fundraise. Here's a quick breakdown of fees. If you look on the PCSD website, you'll probably see a list of this that's been approved by the board. Some of these items do not directly apply this year. For example, tour, we are not going on a tour this year, so don't worry about that. T-shirts, students get their first shirt for free, and then if parents, siblings, neighbor, cousin, etc. wants to get a shirt, they can buy them in the finance office for $10. Hoodies, these are strongly recommended because it's going to get cold and I want us to look uniform. These will cost no more than $50. If we can get them cheaper for the students, we'll do that, and then we'll adjust the price accordingly depending on the cost of the hoodies, but no more than $50. Shoes, these are $50. It's right at cost from the vendor. You can order them through us, and we save you the shipping as well as the taxes. For marching band, I don't charge an instrument rental. That's part of our costs of what we do. It's part of the student fees. However, if you need to use a school instrument such as a flute, clarinet, etc., I do charge a rental for that. Many performers will need gloves. Wind players, color guard members, those are available for $5 or $10 depending on what type of glove you need. I talk about repairs a little bit on the next slide, but that's only due to abuse or neglect. Music replacement, those are for concert band classes. Summer band, reminder that this is a bonus that goes into your student account to help reduce some of the fees. And then the total fee is $700. Instrument repair. Accidents happen. It's just part of what we do. Students are not going to get billed for accidents. If they're monkeying around on the field and being irresponsible, I might send them the bill for that. But if it's honest to goodness an accident, students should not have to worry about that. And here is a quick preview of the show, but I want to take a pause here because this is also available in a link in the description, so make sure to check that out. Let's see if we can. There we go. Oasis. The theme of the show is Oasis. If you haven't already paused to watch the launch video, definitely go ahead and do that. We designed this show for a high level of performance. Each year we target different standards within the core music standards so that students who complete the program in 4 years have the complete spectrum of things that are expected for them to learn. This year we're focusing on new places, new cultures, and if you've followed our shows over the last couple of years, they've kind of been grandiose. This year we went to space. Last year was a apocalyptic computer. This is rooted in a much more tangibly real setting. We want this show to feel like something you could get on a plane and take a vacation and find what we're portraying in our marching show. All the things that make this happen are composed from music, from drill and choreography. All of this stuff is stored in our student access folder. Um, as we get ready for minicamp, folks who have signed up at this QR code will receive an email with a link to the student access folder. This will have all the things listed here and then some. The student access folder is intended to be a one-stop shop go-to for folks to get all the information that they need. At this point, I'm going to wrap the video up. I've been going at it for about 20 minutes now. Take a minute, scan the QR code, sign up. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at devinh@provo.edu. And thanks for watching.